you got the news. Maybe it came in a calendar invite you didn't recognize. Maybe your badge stopped working before anyone said a word. Or you figured it out from the silence in the Slack channel. And then it was official. You're laid off. And in that moment, before you even called anyone, before you texted your best friend or your partner, before you cried or screamed or stared at the ceiling, your brain went somewhere. It went to money, because that is what happens. The financial panic hits fast, and nobody really talks about what happens there in that first hour, that first week, and whether the choices you made were the right ones. But that's what we're doing today. I'm Catherine Agapjan. I am the creator of the Secure First Money Method, a 5-stage framework that helps women move from financial stress to financial confidence by doing money in the right order. This is Sisters for Financial Independence. And if you're new here, welcome. I want to start by asking you something, and I want you to answer honestly. When the layoff hit, or if it happened to you before, what did you do? Did you freeze all spending immediately, like nothing at all, not even coffee? Did you cancel the vacation, pull the kids from their activities, cut everything that felt like a want? Or did you pretend everything was fine on the outside while quietly falling apart on the inside? Or did you quietly feel relieved because you had a savings account and knew you were okay? Or did you think, I finally have time, and you booked that trip? Or did you just keep spending like normal because you were sure it would be short-lived? These are 6 very different responses to a situation. And here's the truth. Some of them are right, some of them are costly, and one of them is the goal. Let's go through all of them. Before I walk you through these, I want to tell you something about my own layoff, because I have been there. I remember getting that calendar invite, sitting in the conference room, hearing those words, and an envelope with my separation letter being handed to me. And I remember standing there thinking, I should be more upset than I am right now, because honestly, there was relief in it, a weird, quiet relief that I didn't fully understand at the time, and then a little worry underneath, because relief doesn't mean there's nothing at stake. My situation was different from a lot of people's. I had no kids yet, I had a full emergency fund, I had no mortgage, and I had a husband who had my back. So when it happened, a bunch of us from work grabbed beers after. We processed it together. It didn't feel like a crisis, it felt like a door closing that maybe needed to close for me. But here's what I want you to hear. That relief was only possible because of the foundation I had built. Without the emergency fund, without the stability, that same moment would have felt like a free fall. So when I walk you through these 6 responses, I'm speaking from experience and from knowing exactly what made the difference. Let's review the 6 responses and what they mean. Response 1, I froze everything. This is the fear response. And honestly, your instincts aren't wrong here. When income stops, protecting your cash is the right impulse. But here's where it breaks down. Most people who freeze everything indiscriminately without actually knowing what they need to protect and what doesn't matter. Freezing without clarity isn't a plan. It's anxiety disguised as a plan. The instinct is right to protect your cash, but the execution needs work. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Response number 2, I canceled the vacation and I pulled the kids from their activities. This one has a lot of guilt baked into it. You're trying to do the right thing for your family. You're sacrificing and you're being responsible. And maybe some of that is necessary. But I want you to slow down before you make those calls, because reactive cuts are not the same as intentional ones. Some cuts are worth making. Some cuts just feel like you're doing something without actually doing anything. We'll talk about how to tell the difference. Response number 3, I pretended everything was fine while quietly panicking. I want to talk to you directly if this was you. The avoidance response is the most common one, and it is the most financially dangerous one. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because when we can't face the numbers, We can't make decisions from a place of clarity. We make decisions from fear and hope, which are, unfortunately, two of the worst financial advisors available to you. Here's what I know about avoidance. It always comes from shame. You feel like you should know what to do. You feel like looking at the accounts will confirm something terrible. So you don't look. But here's the thing. The number in your account doesn't change based on whether you look at it. It's already there. But looking at it just gives you information. And information is power. If this was you, the first step isn't a budget. It's just opening your checking account. That's it. That's where we start and see what that number is. Response number 4. I quietly celebrated. I had my emergency fund. Can we just honor this for a second? This is the strengthened stage of the Secure First money method working exactly as designed. You built the cushion. You didn't touch it for the vacation. You didn't drain it when the car needed repairs, and you had other options. You held it. And when the moment came, it held you back. That quiet exhale, that's not luck. That's a decision you made, probably months or years ago when you were tired and life was busy and the emergency felt hypothetical. That was me, that weird mix of relief and a little worry I told you about. The relief was real because the foundation was real. The emergency fund didn't eliminate the uncertainty. It just gave me enough space to think clearly and make decisions instead of panicking about it. Now, if this is you, I want you to hear me. You did that, and it changed the entire experience of this crisis for you. And if it's not you yet, that's exactly why you're here. We will get you there. Response number 5. I took the trip. I finally had the time. I get it. The freedom of suddenly having your calendar back, no meetings, no commute, no performance reviews can feel electric. And if you've been grinding for years, the idea of finally traveling feels like something you earned. But I need you to ask yourself one honest question. Was that trip funded by money you could actually afford to spend, or was it funded by your emergency fund? Because there's a version of this that's fine. If your finances are genuinely stable, your runway is going to be long, and you made an intentional choice. I'm not going to tell you that was wrong. But for a lot of people, the trip was an emotional decision disguised as a financial one. It was freedom that felt earned, but was actually borrowed against future financial security. I'm not here to make you feel bad about it. I'm here to make sure you see it clearly. Response number 6. I just kept spending normally. I thought it'd be short. I want us to sit with this response for a moment, because this is the optimism trap, and it's so easy to fall into. You've been good at your job. You have a strong resume. You have connections. You will find something fast. You believe that, and you should believe in yourself. But optimism about your ability is not the same as planning for the timeline. The average job search now takes 3 to 6 months, longer in some industries. In a competitive market or a down economy, even longer. And that runway gets shorter every week you spend at your normal rate. Keeping your spending normal because you think it'll be short isn't optimism. It's a bet against yourself, against the market, against variables you don't control. We don't bet on timelines we can't predict. We plan for them instead. So now you know what most people do. Let's talk about what you should do. And I'm going to walk you through this using the Secure First money method, because this framework exists exactly for moments like this. Step 1, we are going back to secure right now. The very first thing you need to do before any cuts, before any calls, before you post anything on LinkedIn is to calculate your runway. Here's the math for that. What do you have coming in? Severance if you received it. Unemployment benefits, yes, apply immediately. There's no shame in this. It is a system you paid into plus any other income sources you might have coming in. What do you have in savings? Not your retirement accounts, not your investment accounts, your accessible cash. And lastly, what does it cost for you to live each month? Not what you wish it cost, what it actually costs right now, today. That number, whether it's 2 months or 8 months, is your clarity. It removes the panic and replaces it with a timeline you can actually work with. This is stage 1, secure. You cannot protect what you can't see. So you have to see the numbers. Now, let me be upfront here. For a lot of people making good money, you might not have had to look at your expenses. This might have just been something you gloss over, but it's time to do the work and face the numbers. Step 2 is to simplify what you're paying for. This is stage 2. Once you know your runway, the next question is, can I extend it? And this is where simplify comes in, not as a permanent lifestyle change, but as a temporary audit. Go through your expenses with your partner in one sitting. Ask 2 questions about each line item. Is this protecting my family's stability? And can this be paused without real consequences? And here are the things that stay: housing, utilities, prescription, transportation to a job search, and anything else that directly supports your job search. And things that you are going to pause: subscriptions, memberships you don't use, anything you signed up for and forgot about. Note that I said pause here, not cancel everything forever. Because the goal isn't to punish yourself into stability. The goal is to extend your runway so that you have room to breathe. Step 3, let the strengthen stage do its job. If you have an emergency fund, this is the moment it was built for. A lot of women feel guilt about using their emergency fund, like somehow touching it means they failed. No, using it for an actual emergency, like losing your income, means the system is working. That money did not sit in an account to look impressive on a spreadsheet. It sat there for this moment. Use it with intention, use it with a plan, keep track of what you're drawing down and by how much each month. But use it, that's what it's for. What if you don't have an emergency fund? Then this is the wake-up call. You are not behind, you are not broken, but you are standing in the exact moment that stage 3, strengthen, was designed to protect you from. And unfortunately, you're feeling it without the cushion. So we move to survival mode. Apply for unemployment immediately. Contact your creditors before you miss a payment, not after. Look at what can be deferred. Student loans, utilities often have hardship programs, and some credit cards do too. You have more options than you think, but you need to look, and you need to look before things get critical. And then once you are back on your feet, once income is back, the first thing we do is to build that emergency fund. Not someday, the first thing. Here's what I want you to take away from this. A layoff is not a test of whether you were smart enough, worked hard enough, or were valuable enough. It is a test of your financial foundation. And whether your foundation held or shook or crumbled, that's information, not judgment. The women who felt that quiet exhale, they built something before they needed it. And you can build that too. Not after the next layoff scare, but now. And the women who are in it right now without the cushion, figuring it day by day, you are not behind. You're here, and here is where we start. No skipping ahead, no shame. We do money in the right order. We secure first, then build. If you're watching this and you're in it right now, I want you to do one thing before you close this video. Just one thing. Calculate your runway. That formula is on the screen, and that number is your starting point. If you're watching this and you want to never feel that panic in the first place, your next video is the one on building your emergency fund. That's stage 3 of the Secure First Money method, and the link is right here. And for a full checklist of what you need to do immediately after a layoff, this video is going to be for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and drop in the comments which of the 6 responses was yours. No judgment. I read every one of them. Subscribe to Sisters for Financial Independence if you want to keep doing money in the right order. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.